Box office.
Hey everybody, welcome to Box Office Beats, where we talk about iconic music in movies. I am your host Mandy, and I am here with Bob doing a special video version of the show. I've got my space buns on, and that means we're doing sci-fi, space and sci-fi songs to be more specific. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little video version of the show, see how it goes, check things out. This is the first run of it. If you like it, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Give us feedback at BobEatsPod on Twitter. Email us at bobeatspod@gmail.com. Website, bobeatspod.com. All that fun stuff. Everything is going to be in the links. Away you go. So I picked 5 awesome space sci-fi songs. They're ones that are iconic, definitely lead the way when you think of what are the main space sci-fi songs. So it was really easy to pick 5 of them. It was really hard to narrow it down to 5, I guess. So I just kind of went with the first 5 that I thought of because that's how the show is. The first one is really old. Well, I'm not going to say really old, but it is an older one. It is several decades old. It is from a show that was a movie as well as a TV show, and there's a huge history and canon and story and wealth of knowledge and all of that. It is definitely one of the top ones that you would think of when you think of space and sci-fi. So let's just jump right in and have a listen to that one. All right, did you get it? Did you figure out what it was? If you didn't, what's wrong with you? It's super easy, whether you're a nerd or you're not. You know that is Star Trek. Whether it's from the TV show or any of the movies, Star Trek is Star Trek, and you know what it is. Whether you watch the original with William Shatner as Captain Kirk, Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek Next Generation, all of the movies in between those, up to the new one, Star Trek Discovery. So Star Trek is a super iconic song that is for sci-fi, space, and I mean, how could you not have it on here, right? So from there, we're going to jump right into another one because that's how we do things, quick, on the ball. This is ridiculous. So again, this one is older. It's a movie by itself, so it wasn't part of a series or anything like that. It's something that is really, I guess it was really groundbreaking at the time. It is really iconic in the fact that it's unique. There's nothing else like it. There's been nothing else like it since, and it is something that the song wasn't made originally for it, but you kind of associate it with it right away. So let's have a listen to that one. So you probably got that one, even if you don't know the movie or may not have watched it. It is a song from 2001, A Space Odyssey. Good old Stanley Kubrick with his groundbreaking, crazy out there ideas, which I guess fits with space, right? Because they're out there. If you didn't recognize the movie, like from the movie, you would recognize it probably from 100 other things where it was spoofed all over popular culture, but is originally from the movie. Again, is an older one. It is a really groundbreaking space movie, and when you think of space movie, you kind of have to think of 2001, A Space Odyssey, right? So jumping right along, we're going to move into another one that is, again, it's own universe, basically. That's probably the biggest clue that I can give for it, is its own contained universe, which is sort of taken over pop culture. So that was the theme song from Star Wars. And I know we played it before, but you know what? It is so iconic when you think of space and sci-fi that you have to have Star Wars. If you're going to have Star Trek, you have to have Star Wars, right? Because they go together. That's how nerds are. You pick one side, whether you're Star Trek or Star Wars. Me, I'm kind of in the middle. I like both, but not enough to be like super one side or the other. So that's just, my opinion on it. What's your opinion? You can leave me your comment on which side you are, Star Trek or Star Wars, maybe. So from there, we go into another one that was a movie, but also it's been a book, it's been a radio series, it's been a lot of other things in pop culture. And the song is specifically for the movie for this one. It's not necessarily just like a theme song or a score. It's specifically for the movie.
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it should come to this. We tried to warn you all, but oh dear, you may not share our intellect, which might explain your disrespect for all the natural wonders that grow around you. So long and thanks for all the fish.
Did you get it? That one? If you didn't get it, it was So Long and Thanks for All the Fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. One of my favorite movies. I love the whole Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fandom universe, with the number 42 and your towel and Don't Panic and all that stuff. I think it's interesting and cool, and it's, again, ingrained in pop culture, whether you've seen the movie, listened to the old BBC radio show, read the books. It is just, again, its own universe, and that's why it's on this list of sci-fi movies, because these are sort of ones that are built with their own universe, basically their own universe, their own fandom. Fans are super passionate about them, and that's why we had to include Hitchhikers on there. So for the last one, again, we're going to go back to TV for movie, although there probably has been some movies on it, maybe. I'm not too sure offhand. But again, definitely its own universe and fandom. That, I'm pretty sure you know what it was, even if you aren't a fan. It was a theme from Doctor Who. Doctor Who, again, its own contained universe. That's the theme, right? These are all their own universe. And it seems like maybe with older sci-fi movies and space movies, they were sort of their own contained, like, everything, whereas now they're just like individual movies. So these were ones that were super iconic, had to have Doctor Who on there. People get crazy passionate about it, have their favorite doctor. For me, personally, it was the 10th. That's my favorite doctor, David Tennant. But, I want to know what yours is. So, as usual, we want to know your feedback. What do you think the most iconic space sci-fi movie songs are? Doesn't have to be a theme song, could just be a song that was in the movie. Maybe there's a song in The Martian that you thought was really good and should have been on this list. You can hit us up at Bobby's Pod on Twitter, bobbyspod.com for all of our stuff. There's art, there's the podcast, there's everything else on there. You can hit up the merch, get yourself a nice little Box Office Beats t-shirt as well. And from Bob, thanks, and #BobLay.
Box Office.